Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Valentine Lister, and this is my Major Arcana series. I am super excited to get into it with you guys, really. We're going to dive deep into this card. By the end of this video, you're going to know all the secret symbolism in this card, as well as the numerology, the astrological associations, as well as the upright meanings and the reversed meanings. All right, we have the Chariot. So what's going on here? In the middle, we have the OG deck, the Rider-Waite deck, which was released in 1909 by publishers Rider and Waite, and the artwork was done by Pamela Coleman Smith. But tarot is way older than that. It's actually a card game that was played in the 1400s, and it became a divination tool. And if you look at the right over here, we have the version of the Chariot from the Light Seers deck. And on the left here, we have the version from the Way Home Tarot. The Light Seers deck, I really recommend it if you're a beginner. I feel like the images are really evoke a lot of emotion. They have a lot of symbolism, and they're easy to understand. A lot of people I've read for emotionally relate. And then the Way Home Tarot is by Bakara Wintner. I learned tarot from her in her book, WTF Tarot. So I have links to all these decks as well as the books that I learned tarot from in the description box below if you're interested in learning more about them. Okay, so one of the things that's super important, right, or that you want to look at when you're reading tarot or even if you're reading oracle cards is the numbers in them. So we have the number 7 on representing the Chariot, and that indicates wisdom and spirituality. It's like representing going inward to reflect in solitude, but birth and rebirth. So it's like cycles of wisdom. It's and also represents like 7 heavens, 7 days in the week, 7 chakras, 7 notes in a musical scale, the 7 traditional planets seen by the naked eye in astrology. So we'll move on to the secret symbolism. All right, so we have here the triumphant king, right? Clothing. And on his head, he has what's called a diadem, and it represents dominion over mind, science, and growth in the 8-pointed star. And so the Chariot itself actually is representative of the human personality, and it's a vehicle for the self, right? And it's associated with the moon and the stars here. And the stars over the head represent the astrological planetary influences, and the lunar crescents on the shoulder represent the intuition and subconscious. Can I say that right? Yeah. And then the moon actually represents fortune, right? The human personality, like what is going to happen in life in like our lived reality and the body and emotions. So on the front of the Chariot, we have the wings of inspiration, and below we have the Hindu sign for union. So we mentioned the sign for union before with like crosses, but this is the Hindu one. So this way represents female and this way represents male, and it's like the positive and negative life forces. And we have sphinxes representing the tree of life in nature. And so in this guy's hand, right, we have the wand of will. And so what this represents is that sphinxes will go in different directions. Like if he doesn't control it, they're going to go like cray cray. And then it also like kind of, this is also representing that, like if you have a faulty, fearful, or superficial reaction, it could create destruction. And so the Chariot also represents like victory, self-discipline, and stability through will and outer triumph. So when I'm talking about fortune, what I represented, or what I was talking about before, fortune represents triumph over things here through your personality and like through your body and emotions and your senses in this world. But in order to do that, you need to be able to handle your subconscious mind, and all of the things come up, and be able to really navigate through that, especially when it comes to dealing with the moon. All right, so moving over to the right in the Light Seers version, the variation. So this guy is riding on a chariot, and we'll see inside the chariot, there's this like red cloth of desire, and we have like some empty space for reflection. And what we have here, right? And we have here like the person here, right? And he's actually almost representing like the soul. And then the Chariot is like our body. It's like where the soul goes in to be able to navigate through the world. And we notice here we have a black and white horse here instead of sphinxes, and we have the galaxy of stars here on the top. And then we also have like this river here, which I think to me represents the subconscious. And then over here on the left side with the Way Home Tarot, I love this imagery. We have a salmon swimming upstream. So what better way to talk about what the Chariot means? It means will and instinct and like this natural desire to move against the stream. Because you just know, like you're just being guided by your subconscious to go there and moving beyond fear of what that might mean. Okay, so we're going to talk about the color symbolism in the card. That's super important. And remember, all these symbols you could use for anything. Like if you see it out in nature, if you see it in an oracle card, these things are kind of like universal meanings and symbols that I'm talking about here. So we have the light blue here that represents purity, serenity, mental clarity, and compassion. And we have the yellow, creativity, optimism, enthusiasm. We have black here, so that's the power, the unconscious, banishing wisdom in the dark. And then there's white here. Like the white symbolism represents purity, wholeness, and protection. And we'll notice, right? It's like these things are together. It's kind of like yin and yang here in the Chariot, like over this way. And then we have a lot of gray here in this card, and that represents wisdom because that represents the black and white mixing together and melding together. And then we have the red. We have some red stuff here, and that represents passion, vitality, and courage and desire. And then we also have here, we have purple, which represents, we see this more in the Light Seers deck, but that kind of speaks to like amethyst with the crown chakra. It's like wisdom, spirituality, and power. So the astrological correspondence is the zodiac sign of Cancer, which makes sense because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is what rules like our personality, our fortune, like our physical body, our environment. All right. And then to remember this card, I have a nickname, and it's The Boy Is Mine. I'm going to get mine, right? Like the Brandy song back in the 90s. Okay. And this nickname, you'll probably understand it better if you watch my video, The Easiest Way to Learn the Major Arcana. Now, if you did not see that video, go watch it. It's really important to understanding the major arcana. I'm going to link it up here in a card. I'm going to put it down in the description, because you need to understand that the major arcana is linked together in one big story. It's like the soul in its journey throughout like its experience getting back home. And that's why like Ricard Winter called this the Way Home Tarot. Okay, so the upright meaning of the card, it means triumph, victory, success in outward pursuits. It means the ability to navigate and maintain traditional success. It can also represent overcoming health difficulties as an example, right? The moon rules the body and emotions, and fortune, right? So examples are also overcoming financial problems, resolving relationship difficulties, success in a job or community effort. It also indicates travel with comfort. Okay, and then if you're reading them reversed, I know I keep doing this, but maybe, there's some people who are watching this video for the first time. So reversals means that the card is upside down like this. Not everybody reads reversals, but if you do read reversals, it's important to remember that the energy is being blocked or avoided. You don't want to let it come through. You don't like it. You're afraid of it. You're not ready for it. The person you're reading for, same thing. They're not ready for this stuff. It's kind of like you are resisting the energy for some reason, right? Maybe it's a good reason. Maybe it's your intuition telling you to hold off. But if it's being reversed, possibilities of what it means is a restlessness or a desire for change. It could mean ill health, self-sabotage, being pulled in two directions, stressed out under pressure, an unethical victory. And it's just like a warning to choose a direction carefully. But it could also mean that the changes and moving forward could be internal changes. So success with navigating your internal world. All right, hope you guys really enjoyed this video about the Chariot. This is just a reminder that I'm going to be putting out more videos in this series, so make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for when I release the next video, which will be the Strength card. If you're watching this way into the future, I have linked in the end screen a Major Arcana playlist, as well as other videos from the Major Arcana series. All right, I love you guys so much. See you in the next video. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified for whenever I release a new video every single week.